In a volatile trading session, US market closed higher on Friday as US President Donald Trump aimed at China but did not go as far as fear concerned. He did not mention any significant sanctions on China or any plans to walk away from Phase 1 deal with China. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed 17 points lower, S&P 14 points up, Nasdaq 120 points up for the day. US President Donald Trump has announced that he would postpone the G7 summit until September. Calling G7 a very outdated group of countries, Trump also told reporters on Saturday that he would like to invite Russia, South Korea, Australia and India to join the summit. The financial year 20 March and fiscal deficit now stand 4.59% against 3.8% revised target. That will be a breach of 0.7% or rupees 1.69 lakh crore gap. The impact of the COVID-19 led lockdown on government's finances for April is most evident in the negative growth of CGST, income tax and custom collections. The government may not require to change Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act despite a significant breach in financial year 20 revised fiscal deficit target and a much higher deficit this year due to COVID-19 impact. For your information, the original FRBM Act of 2003 states the Union Minister has to inform both houses of Parliament on fiscal deviation caused by unforeseen circumstances and whether the deviations are substantial. India's GDP growth rate slips to 4.2% in financial year 20, hitting the slowest pace in 11 years. Growth figures for the first 3 quarters also see sharp downward revisions. The economy grew at 3.1% in fourth quarter, with agriculture growing 5.9%. April core sector data also saw a decline in growth, 38% decline we have seen in April data versus 6.5% decline month on month. Voltas posted quarter 4 numbers better than estimate. Profit rises 17.8% versus estimates. Revenue was almost flat. EBITDA, we have seen 15.7% rise in EBITDA and margin expanded 149 basis points. Comparing the number with the same quarter last year, profit rises 13.6% and revenue were almost flat. EBITDA rises 33.1% and margin expanded quite a bit to 219 basis point. This is FII derivative and cash activity windows of last 5 days. So we have seen on Friday that FII have booked some profit on index future segment, and also the position in the put has also diminished a bit, while we have seen a long additions in call. So basically they have consolidated their position since last 2 days, and we have also seen that there was a buying since last 2 days in cash segment by FIIs. DIs are buying from last 4 days. Hey guys, welcome back to this section where we will discuss chart of USDINR June future contract. This is almost 10 days since my last update to you, because our Kolkata region was one of the worst hit areas during the Amphan cyclone. Even broadband services takes almost 10 days to resume its services. Nevertheless, we will focus on the 30 minutes USDINR June contract chart, which is up onto your screen, and we can see here a broader formation is a sideways kind of formation in which USDINR is gyrating in a 1 rupee kind of broader range. The narrower range we can see here 77 paisa kind of range is a narrower, and the narrowest range we can see here is 53 paisa kind of range. Then what are the levels to look at? So at the lower band you can see here is the 75.64 to 75.76. This is the lower trajectory, lower band from where it is taking support, trying to bounce back, and the upward band is 76.28 to 76.43, from where it is taking resistance and trying to bounce again, try to fall into the same region. So it is basically moving in nowhere but to trade sideways, and this is very difficult to trade. This patterns are very difficult to trade because it is moving nowhere, trendless, clueless, sideways kind of formation. Whenever it is showing strength, it is falling. Whenever it is showing weakness, it is again bouncing back. Very difficult to trade, but one should mind these levels. The lower level 75.64 to 75.76, and the up level is 76.28 to 76.43. If it takes any move beyond these levels, then that will be a tradable move. Through which we can capture some kind of move. Otherwise it is moving sideways. This is Nifty daily charts, where we can see the activity is panning out in a triangular kind of formation, and we are near to the apex of the trading activity, and 9600 will act as a strong resistance going forward. We have seen in 3 of the previous occasion that market have approached near to the 9600 and then reacted. So it will be prudent to look at and whether the market sustains above, let's say, half an hour on Monday, then we can see a tradable move. So going forward, we can see if it sustains above 9600. So going forward in coming weeks, we can see the Nifty moving towards 9800 or beyond, let's say 9900 kind of level we can see in coming days. Just to remind that FIIs too have reversed their stance, turned bullish from bearish. In last 3 trading session, we have seen lots of accumulation on long side. So this is how things may propel up. So we should be very keenly watching how Nifty is negotiating at 9600 kind of level, because technically it is a consolidation triangle. Don't know whether it will break up or it will break down, because we are very near to the apex, and apex is where we should be keenly watching the activity, and we should look at the trading range. Now if it moves above 9600, we can capture 200 to 300 kind of move in coming week, or if it moves below 9260, it is too far from current market price. But again, if it falls below that 9260, 9250 kind of level, then we will see a breakdown. So these two levels we should keep in mind while trading into the Nifty going forward. This is Bank Nifty daily chart. We can see some kind of divergence developing in Bank Nifty, and it is showing a weaker resilience if we compare the same with the Nifty, because it has broken out of the triangle, the consolidation triangle, and we have seen in Nifty it is near to the apex here kind of level. So there is some kind of divergence in that is we call a negative divergence in Bank Nifty compared to the Nifty. So the next level we can see here is 19,965 kind of level will act as a strong resistance going forward for Bank Nifty. So we should keenly watching for those levels in coming 2 to 3 trading session that will act as a strong resistance, and if it moves above, then it will mark the beginning that the formation, the negative divergence formation will negate, and it will move up to 21,000 kind of a level which was earlier acted as a strong resistance. So this is the difference between the Bank Nifty and Nifty chart. So Bank Nifty showing a little weakness compared to the Nifty, and the level, as I told you, is 19,965 kind of level will act as a strong resistance going forward, and the support will come around the support will come around this around 19,000 kind of level, just 300 point below the closing today. So 300 point below, and the 600 to 700 kind of level just above the current market price will act as a strong resistance going forward. If you find any meaningful information in this video, then subscribe my channel and press bell icon to get future notifications.